working in a hospital in general will leave you with no shortage of interesting stories to tell people. There's definitely a lot of wacky shit that happens on a regular day in a hospital, but these are 10 of the nuttiest things that have happened to me since becoming an X-ray tech. I'm doing diagnostic, I'm doing CT, and they call me up for a CT of the face and head. So not completely unheard of, but all right. So come in, and this guy walks in, I'm prepping the CT scanner, and this guy walks in with a white t-shirt on. At least I think it was white, because there was more blood on his shirt than white cotton fabric. And I'm looking at this guy, both eyes are swollen shut, his nose looks like it might be broken, this guy's in bad shape, and I'm like, holy shit, what happened to this guy? So I mean, obviously he was probably in a fight, and it looks like probably what happened. But he comes in, he's got a chief with him, assuming he's on one of the ships, and the guy comes in, and right away he's being hostile to me. He's like, look man, I ain't trying to be here all night, let's just get this done. I'm like, all right, cool. Hop up on the scanner, we'll get this done. It's just my CT techs out there know that a head and facial CT doesn't take forever. So, I tell him, just look, sit still, and this will be done in a few minutes, okay? So he gets up on the scanner. I do the head first, and, I do the scout view. He passes through the gantry once, and as soon as he passes through, he jumps right up off the table. It's like, are we done? Can I go? Can I go now? And I go in, I say, hey, sit down. What the hell are you doing? The machine's still working. He's like, look, man, I told you I try to be here all night. And I'm just looking at his chief, and I'm like, are you, I mean, what the hell's this guy? What the hell's this guy's problem? The chief's like, I have no idea. I just met him today. And I'm like, well, so anyway, I'm still trying to keep my cool. So I tell him, look, buddy, just lay down on the table. I promise I'll get you out of here as quickly as possible, but you got to cooperate. So I take the scan of his head, and again, he jumps up when he passes through the gantry. All right, look, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm like, so I run in there. I'm like, sit your ass down. What the hell's the matter with you? He's like, what are you coming to me like that for? Like, because you're not being cooperative. You're in here. I'm trying to help you, And I guess I had pushed a button with him. I said, I see why you got your ass whooped. And when I said that, he we talked about this in one of my other videos. He did the international, it's time to go. He took whatever he had in his hand, he dropped it, and he stepped back. And I'm like, I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at the chief, and I'm like, is this guy serious? Like, listen, buddy, you're 0 for 1 tonight. Let's not make it 2, okay? So he didn't let me do the facial scan. He took his stuff and he left, and the chief left with him. I was like, look, go on ahead. I just know you're going to come right back here and have to do it anyway before they'll release you from the ER. So whatever. This will just show you how bored I got on that watch at night. So if I could give you a little bit of a topographic view of the Naval Hospital Guam radiology department, it's pretty small and it's pretty enclosed. So X-ray, CT, and fluoro, they're all pretty much, in walking distance, like a very short distance, probably within 10 feet of each other. They're all super, super close. So what I would do is all those departments are in, and then surrounding them, there's one long hallway that goes all the way around. So what I would do sometimes, it's super, super late. I haven't shot anything all night, and it's like 2 a.m. I haven't seen another person. So what I would do is, and don't judge me or judge me, I don't care. But so I would get naked, and I would creep out and see if I could make it all the way around that. I could make it all the way around. I don't know why, okay? I know I'm fucking weird, but that's just what I did. I don't know. I just wanted to see if I could make it all the way around without getting spotted, I mean, there was nobody there, but, Murphy's Law, once you get out there and you start running around with no clothes on, somebody's going to pop in, and it's usually going to be the last person you want to see with no clothes on while you're on duty. Probably the Master Chief or the CO or the XO. It's not going to be good. So, anyway, I did this a couple of times. I went and I ran around, and I got maybe a quarter of the way. Then I ran inside where nobody could see me, and I snuck back and got my clothes back on. But it was like, oh my God, that was crazy, So one night I said, you know what? I'm going to make it all the way around tonight. I'm going to take my clothes off. I mean, really, well, of all things to get yourself all pumped up for, this is probably the weirdest. So I'm like, I'm going to get all the way around tonight, and then I will have accomplished something. So I take my clothes off. I go out to the outer walkway, and I just start running. I just run all the way around. You guys remember that music video? I forget what it was, but they were just basically running naked around town. That's kind of what it felt like, you know. So I'm running, and I run all the way around, and I get to just before where the door is to get back into the office, and I see that doorknob start to turn. And I friggin' just suicide dive into the bathroom. Just, what? I jump right into the bathroom. I'm stark naked. I'm hiding in the bathroom. And who do you think it is? The janitor. God damn, man. 2 o'clock in the morning? Why the hell? So, of course, what's he trying to do? He's trying to get into the bathroom to clean it, and I'm sitting there with the door locked, and I'm like, he'll go away eventually. He'll go away eventually. Well, obviously, this guy had nothing better to do, because rather than just go walk away and clean something else, he sits on the little bench that's directly outside of that bathroom, and I'm like, shit. Now what? And of course, now that I'm trapped in here, you know, away from the office, now they're probably blowing me up, telling me there's some code blue that I have to respond to, and I can't get there. So I'm like, what do I do? Do I make the walk of shame, go out there naked and just, you know, say sorry, whatever, make up something, or do I wait? So I waited it felt like 20 minutes. It was probably only like 2 or 3. But eventually the guy got up and walked away, and I got back to the office and put my clothes on. And needless to say, that was the last time we did the naked lap in Guam. While I was at the VA for phase 2 of X-ray school in San Antonio. San Antonio's got some strange rangers, man. Like, no stranger than what we have here in San Diego at this hospital, but I don't know. Maybe just because that was my first foray into being into the X-ray world. People seemed a little strange, but I mean, you know, people are weird, patients are weird. You know, it just kind of goes with the territory. But this particular patient kind of left me a little, I guess, lost for what to do. Let me just give you the scenario. So I'm at the VA hospital in San Antonio, just learning how to do x-rays. This lady comes in for a chest x-ray from the ER. Black lady, super tall, maybe like 6 foot. She was about as tall as me, you know, full-figured, curvy gal, you know, the kind of chick that I would probably talk to, you know, but, you know, married, not interested, sorry. But anyway, I'm in my uniform. I'm in my military uniform, my utilities, they call them now, or the working uniform. Sorry, not utilities, the working uniform. And I don't know, I guess some ladies like the uniform. I don't know. You guys comment on that one if you will. But anyway, I position her for a chest x-ray, and she's just chit-chatting with me the whole time, you know, making little cutesy talk, whatever. So she turns, I turn her sideways for a lateral, and so basically I'm standing behind her. I've got my chest to her back, but I mean, I just have my hands on her shoulders, and I'm just trying to straighten her up and make sure she's in a true lateral. So while she's doing that, she made some kind of comment about me being cute, or, you know, like, oh, maybe after your shift, you and I could do something. And she sticks her butt out and like rubs it on my crotch. And I'm like, okay, like, and, you know, not wanting to draw attention to it and make it worse, I just kind of glossed over it. I said, haha, okay, you know, and just because I didn't want to make it any weirder, because I mean, I wasn't interested, but I don't know. You know, I've never been sexually harassed before, you know, so I shot the x-ray, and I don't think anybody saw it, which is weird because there's usually a lot of people standing around, but nobody saw it. So the only thing I'm thinking about is like, oh shit, what if this becomes a problem? So I felt weird, but I went and told my supervisor. I said, hey, listen, not a big deal, but this lady came in and she kind of was twerking on me a little bit in the middle of a chest x-ray. And God bless the civilian supervisor, Miss L, if you're watching right now. God bless you. You're a sweetheart. She asked me, well, do you want to make a complaint about it? Like, no, it's not a big deal. I just wanted to tell you my side of the story in case it should come up again. That's just covering my ass. And she just kind of smiled and went, well, that probably happens to you a lot. So that was that. I never heard anything about that again, and thank God. Speaking of training, here in San Diego, we have plenty of Phase 2 X-ray students that are going through the program, and every once in a while, something, you know, you catch an anomaly, something weird. not even weird, just something you don't really see every day. So anyway, to paint you a picture, we're in the ER. I got a student with me, and the way I'll do it in the ER, because for whatever reason, the doctors and nurses and corpsmen at Naval Medical Center San Diego emergency room think they're special, and they don't have to bring us any patients. So we have to go get the patients, shoot the x-ray, and put the patients back in the room. I don't know why. This is the only place I've ever worked that does that. To me, it's really stupid, but I don't know. Whatever. So they think they're special because of their little bullshit rank, but that's beside the point. That's a whole other video right there. We'll get into that. But anyway, so the way I do it is I pick up the patients, I bring them, and I have the student shoot them so they can get the exposure. They can get exposure. Get it? So they can get the experience shooting patients as much as possible. So I bring this lady. She's a Japanese lady, probably in her 70s, early 70s, late 60s. And, very, I don't want to say stereotypical Japanese person. I've never been in Japan. I don't know what the culture's like, but very docile, very just quiet, just okay. Not a big problem, pretty easy chest x-ray. So I go and I let the patient shoot it. And this student is pretty well versed, so they know what they're doing. They give me, they say, hey Jones, can you come and take a look at this X-ray? There's something weird on it. I'm like, all right, and I'm looking, and she's like, yeah, what is that on her chest? And I'm looking, and I'm like, are you sure you got the right patient? I'm like, yeah, that's her right there, right? This older lady right over here. Like, yeah. And I'm looking, I'm like, okay, those are nipple rings. And when I said that, not the patient, but the student just, this old Japanese lady got straight up nipple rings, one in each. And I'm like, holy shit, grandma's getting it. I'm sorry, I don't have nipple rings myself, but every time I see somebody with nipple rings, I'm never really surprised, because people with nipple rings tend to be a little on the freaky side. And just looking at this lady, I mean, come on, she's in her early 70s. I mean, she's got nipple rings. Holy shit. Get it, Grandma? Speaking of the female anatomy, let's talk a little bit more about Guam. I swear the weirdest stuff happened in Guam. Or again, maybe it's because it was my first gig as an x-ray tech. Maybe it was just they stick out a little more. But anyway, speaking of sticking out. So I'm on Big Navy. And if you don't know, that's the actual naval base, not the hospital installation. I'm in there. They have a clinic. They have an x-ray room. And I get a patient, that was probably the easiest. If you think the watch at the main hospital in Guam was easy, at the big naval clinic, it was even easier. I'm talking like 3 patients a day. That would be a decently busy day. There was nothing to do there. That explains why I picked up rank working in Guam, because there was so few patients. I had a lot of time to study. But anyway, I get a patient for a chest x-ray. The patient is 106 years old. Holy shit. You know you're old when your grandkids are in their 50s. Holy shit. So God bless this lady. She was 106. So she comes in for a chest x-ray. She's in a wheelchair. She could barely stand, obviously, very frail. So I don't want to make her stand up or, do anything weird like that. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's just do it on the table. Let's just put her on the table. We'll line her up and we'll take a couple of chest x-rays. Easy day. Not a problem. So we, she's got on a sweater and a bra and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, listen, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't care about the bra and all that stuff, but I'm like, listen, I really don't want to have you guys come back and shoot it again and bring her back and take all the stuff off. So listen, let's just do it the right way the first time. So I asked her grandkids that are with them, like, okay, have her take off the bra, take off the sweater, put on this gown, put on the gown just like this, and we'll go ahead and shoot it. So I step out of the room and I say, just, knock on the wall, knock on the door when you're ready. So about 5 or 6 minutes goes by and they knock on the door. I'm like, all right, here we go. So why do I go in there? And this lady is totally topless. 106 years old. Bam, there they are. And I'm like, what the hell happened? I told you guys to put on the gown. And they said, and these loving grandkids of theirs were like, oh, we didn't really feel like putting it on. She's fine. And I'm like, what the So I take the gown and I just kind of drape it over her, just because, Nothing against the female form, but, in a hospital setting, it's just not really. I mean, I want to give the patient as much modesty as possible. And plus, I'm not looking at patients like that, man. It's just not cool. This little lady's 106. She can barely care for herself. I'm sure she's got some kind of hospice situation going on. I just but any of you x-ray techs out there know that it is sort of a pitfall that people are going to expose themselves to you unsuspectingly. I've definitely had my share of unsuspected anatomy flung my way, male and female, and but nothing tops the 106-year-old boobies. So haven't topped those yet. I'm looking for a 110-year-old so I can beat my record, but I got another year as an x-ray tech left, and I don't think I'm going to beat that. And by the way, if you're wondering, yes, they were quite nice. Being an x-ray tech in the military does afford some very interesting moments as it comes to other branches. So at the hospital in Balboa in San Diego that I'm at right now, we do see a lot of Marines, more specifically Marines that are in boot camp, because MCRD, or Marine Corps Recruiting Depot, basically Marine Corps boot camp, it's very, very close by. So we do see our share of recruits. And then with COVID going on, probably more so now, people are getting sick, people are getting a lot more chest x-rays, so it's just the way it is. Anyway, this one particular time, I'm in the ER, I get a recruit come in, and when you get a recruit come in, a lot of times they'll come with a drill instructor. You can always tell the drill instructors because they talk like this. Hey, Doc, what's going on? I got a recruit here for you. He needs a chest x-ray. I'm like, okay, sounds good, Sergeant. Let's go ahead.
Every time I say ready, move, it should be like an explosion. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Okay, scream at the top of your lungs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Linen on the rack, ready, move.
So I grabbed the kid, and my x-ray techs out there, you guys know, if you guys are shooting a chest x-ray, you shoot the PA, you got her chest on the board, then you tell them, I always tell them the same way, drop your hands and turn to the right to put them into a lateral. Without fail, I would say probably 80% of patients go the wrong way. I say turn to the right, they go left. So not a big deal. It's a quick fix. Most people catch themselves before they get settled in. So that's what happened. He turned the wrong way, and the drill instructor, he's in the room. I've actually seen the guy a couple of times. So the drill instructor's in the room with me. I tell the kid, okay, drop your hands and turn to the right. He turns left. The drill instructor walks straight past me before I have a chance to correct him, and he goes with that crazy voice, all right, you see that? You see what just happened? That's your freaking problem. You don't listen. I'd say go right, you go left. 3 people get their freaking head blown off, and because of you, now I gotta write 3 letters to 3 mamas and 3 daddies because of your stupid ass. I'm sitting here just trying not to laugh my ass off, because this kid, I mean, God bless him, God bless you Marines, man, but that is some funny shit. The kid is sitting there scared to death, petrified to even move. He turns, he fixes himself, he gets in the right position, and he's like, nice job, nice freaking job, and he's still screaming at Good times. My military x-ray techs will definitely know who Miss Green is. Miss Green, she's the, program director. She's the head honcho over at Fort Sam Houston in the X-ray program. I don't know about the other programs. I think it's just the radiology program, but she is the lady in charge, and Miss Green is good looking. Miss Green is definitely one of them older ladies that first of all, she doesn't look that old, but she is really, really cute, and most guys would agree with me. So seeing her walk by, every once in a while, hi, Miss Green, how you doing? I think she's used to getting flirted with here and there, but I would just say hi. I wouldn't get all crazy and nasty. I'd just say hi and, get a look at her, So, I was just taken by this lady. She's really, really cute. I'm a married man, and I wasn't trying to get all inappropriate, but definitely nice to look at. Cute lady, But so we're in class one day. There's another civilian, Mr. Ellison, who was teaching us. He's actually a retired senior chief, cool guy. And I just happened to ask about Miss Green, and it just says, hey, Mr. Ellison, Miss Green, is she? we were in class, but we weren't in class. We were just kind of standing around. I was like, hey, Mr. Ellison, Miss Green, she got a man, she got a boy toy, a husband, something, like. And he said, I'm pretty sure she does. I mean, I was pretty sure she did too. I was just asking just to be funny, so I didn't really care one way or the other. I was just making conversation. So, we get back into actual instruction in class, and Miss Green just happened to walk in. And I was like, oh, snap. So I look at her. She's wearing a nice outfit, like always. And I'm like, Miss Green, Miss Green. So she says whatever she had to say. I think she just kind of said hello and how's class going, all that stuff. Not a big deal. So Mr. Ellison says, oh, hey, Miss Green, are you married? And she goes, yes, I'm very married. And instead of just leaving it at that, Mr. Ellison looks right at me and goes, sorry, HM3, you're out of luck. And the whole class just erupted in laughter. I'm like, God damn it. You freaking sold me out, you bastard. And Miss Green just kind of looked at me like, she gave me that junior high school look. And I was like, oh my God. And I just kind of put my head in my hands. And I'm like, have a nice day, Miss Green. Oh, you too, you too. And she just kind of walked away. And I'm like, can't believe you sold me out like that. If I've said it once, I've said it 46 times. I hate ortho. They're the biggest dickheads in the world, man. I swear to God. Half the time they don't even look at the x-rays. They see that they got a broken ankle and they're like, oh, do some gravity stress views. I already shot the gravity stress view. Well, shoot it again. Why? I could go on and on. I'm going to make a whole video about why I hate ortho. But anyway, ortho fucking sucks. But so this one particular time I've got actually a broken ankle. So guy broke his ankle. We're in the ER. We shoot the standard 3-view ankle series, and I'm like, oh, well, it's obviously broken. I'm not a doctor, but I could see that it's broken. So I say, okay, let's shoot some gravity stress views just to cover our ends so they don't have to keep sending them back over and over again. Well, sending them back wouldn't be so bad, but we have to go and pick them up and bring them back in the ER. So anyway, I'm like, all right, fine. Let's go ahead and shoot some gravity stress views. We shoot them. We send the patient back. About 10 minutes later, sure as shit, ortho calls, hey, can you guys shoot some gravity stress views on that? I'm like, we already did. Yeah, can you shoot him again? I'm like, fine. So we bring the patient back, we shoot him again, we send him. About 10 minutes later, ortho calls us again. Yeah, do you think, the gravity stress views are okay, but I need, and again, I'm not a doctor, so I don't understand all that fucking doctor speak. Can you rotate 10 degrees to the medial? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, well, okay, fine, we'll shoot it again, So I shoot it again, send him. Yeah, do you think you guys, sir? I'm not shooting it again. If you want more gravity stress views, come down here and shoot it yourself. That's what I said. And I hung up the phone a little abruptly. I said, look, sir, if you want more gravity stress views, come down here and shoot them yourself. We'll be down here in the ER. Click. I was pissed, man. Freaking, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what you're trying to see. Instead of making all these fucking phone calls and having to shoot the patient over and over again, why don't you bring your candy ass down here and show us what you want? Imbecile. Fucking ortho. Anyway, I could go on and on about ortho. But anyway, so I tell him to come down here and shoot it himself. About 15, 20 minutes goes by, and I'm like, oh, I guess, I don't know. But the order is still in there, so I'm just holding on to the order. I'm like, whenever you want to come down here. So about a half an hour goes by after that phone call. He calls me again. Yeah, hey, this is so-and-so from ortho. Yeah, I think we're good. I don't think we need any more images. I think we're fine. I'm like, ugh. Yeah, when someone asks you to get out of your stupid office and come down here and do some work, now all of a sudden, you have what you need. Fucking ortho. Most of these stories I've told you guys today are meant to be funny. There's one that's not funny, but it's really cool. And I just wanted to share this with you guys. When I was in Guam, we didn't have a whole lot of babies that, I think that they must have had a NICU. I don't know if they did or not, but they must have. But, I didn't get a whole lot of experience shooting babies in Guam because they're just we didn't have that many orders for them. But anyway, there was one that definitely sticks out. This kid, I call him the gummy bear baby, because this kid must have been born very, very premature. I don't remember exactly the circumstances, but this kid came out looking just translucent AF. And let's just say the smart money was not on him. And I could definitely sympathize with that. I've had an emergency well, I haven't, my wife has, but we've had an emergency C-section, premature baby, was in the NICU for 5 weeks. That shit is not fun. And I definitely don't envy anyone who has to go through that. So, it went up, and the parents are obviously very shaken, but the kid was very translucent. It's a hard word to say, translucent. But kid's not expected to make it. So I shoot the x-ray. It was a chest x-ray. Oh, it was probably a babygram, a chest and abdomen together. And that was it. I took off, and I just remembered the kid's name. I won't say the name, but he had a very unique name. And that was that. I didn't see the kid again. I didn't really think about it. I was like, damn, I hope that kid's okay. I hope he got better. But I don't know. So fast forward, I guess it's 4 years. Yeah, because it was pretty recent. It was about 4 years later. Yeah. About 4 years later, I recognize that name. I see it. I'm sitting at the in the main x-ray space in Balboa. I recognize that name. I was like, hey, I know that name. Kid's like 3-4 years old. And I'm like, oh, shit. I wonder. So I actually take that shit out of order, go and grab the patient, and sure as shit, this little kid comes walking across, and just chubby and, smiling. He's got his little Kindle he's playing with, his little toy, and he just walks right on ahead. And I remembered. I'm like, that kid made it. That is awesome. That is really something. This kid was, gummy bear baby. And I actually told the patient's parents, I said, hey, you guys, was your child born in Guam? I was like, yeah, he was. I'm like, yeah. I took his x-ray when he was born, and like when he was in the NICU. It's like, oh yeah, really? Like, yeah, I remember your kid. Yeah. When I said that, they were like, the mom got a little teary and like, yeah, I mean, hey, I'm so happy he made it. That is so wonderful. I'd always wondered what happened to you guys. And like, oh yeah, we had to evacuate off the island. I mean, he was in the NICU forever. But yeah, he's okay now. Yeah, I see. He's walking around. How's he doing? Oh, he's fine. He's fine. He's eating. He's getting big. He's plays with his brothers. He's happy. I'm like, man, that is awesome. So of all the funny stories I could tell about being an x-ray tech, that one is probably my favorite. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast today. Like, share, and subscribe to BJBL Unleashed for more content, and I will see you later for more Unleashed.